Have you ever heard the phrase, today is the tomorrow that you worried about yesterday? Man, time passes. You know, it seems like the older Paul got, the more he walked with the Lord or ran with the Lord, however you want to look at it, he just seemed to whittle it away to one thing. It was just more and more simple, more and more profound. He would say, but this one thing. Like in Philippians, he says, this one thing, let me read it to you, 3:14. This one thing I do, one thing. Forgetting what is behind, straining forward to what is ahead. I press on toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. It's like he's an Olympic sprinter and he's just pressing forward, running with all he's got, just to break, straining forth that finish line. Don't think of like Usain Bolt, who is just kind of like sauntering across the finish line at the speed of a cheetah, kind of looking back to see if there's anybody even in the same track. Not that. This was Paul running with all his guts out, just running, training hard, running hard. It's all he thought about. Finish well, finish the race well. It makes me think, how's my race? How am I running? Am I running with everything I got? Am I, looking back at the past and just everything that bogs me down? Or am I thinking forward, thinking to the future, thinking to that day when I finish the race and I see Jesus face to face? Will I be pleased? Will he be pleased? I remember when my son was in elementary school, and I think it was like the first ever track meet that he was in, competitive track meet kind of thing. And he was running a little sprint. I think it was a 100-yard dash or something like that. And so being the competitive dad that I was and, all that, I told Dustin, I said, okay, you just keep your eyes on me. I am going to stand at the finish line and wait for you. I'll be cheering you on. You just don't focus on anything around. You just keep your eyes on me, stay in your lane, and run to me. Run to me. And he did just that. Maybe the only time, really, that he did just that. And he just didn't think about anything else around. He ran with everything he had right into my arms, and he won that race. I was so proud. I was like, yeah, my son. And then later on, I think it was in grade 7, maybe even grade 8, but I think it was grade 7, there was a cross-country run. Much longer race, different kind of race. And I was so, just, again, the proud dad, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 runners started together, then they ran off and they took off into the forest. And it was quite a wait to see who was going to be the first runner to kind of crest that hill and toward the finish line, which would be in about maybe 200 yards ahead. And so you wait, and then the first runner crests the hill, and it was not my son. And then the second runner crests the hill, not my son. And the third runner, very close behind, it was my son. Oh man, I came alive. I started yelling and cheering and, yeah, pump him out, Dustin, run hard. And he was running and he was straining and he was overtaking that second place person and he just ran by them and I was like, yeah, second place. And then that other runner fell. And inside me, I stood there in my sin thinking, second place is assured. Just bring it on home. But Dustin stopped. And then he turned around and he went back to see if that other runner was okay. I was like, for a moment. But then I got my eyes on the bigger prize, on the bigger race, just like Dustin had. He was not concerned about winning or losing that race. He was concerned about this other runner. He had his eyes on the bigger race, so to speak. Wow, I was taught a lesson that day. Later on in life, he was pastoring, and I was going through a crisis. And Dustin said to me, "Die well, Dad. Die well." Wow. Keep my eyes on the ultimate prize. I want to run like the the writer of Hebrews says, strip off every weight and every sin. Do different things. Weights can be good things, but they still weigh you down. Every sin that just weighs you down, tangles you up, and run the race as if to win. Our men's group has been studying 1 John, and there's just a great little letter packed full of punch. So much in there. And part of it, there's one line in 1 John. I'll read it to you. It's 2:28, and it says this, basically that there's a chance that we could be ashamed when we see him face to face. It says this, and now, little children, abide in him so that when he appears, we may have confidence and not shrink from him in shame at his coming. It's like if we walk through our Christian life with a meh, don't care attitude, laissez-faire, what will happen, I don't care. There's a good chance that we're going to be ashamed on that day. I don't want that to be me. I hope you don't want it to be you. I hope you'll die well, you'll run well, you'll finish well, and you'll receive that ultimate prize. Keep your eyes on that ultimate prize of knowing him and being with him forever.